Starting a YouTube channel is not as hard as you think it is. For all of you who are just getting started out here in 2025 or are thinking about getting started here on YouTube in 2025, this is your chance. This is your time. YouTube has been pushing small creators like crazy. Today, I'm sharing 5 things I wish I knew before getting started on my YouTube journey. First, being creating a YouTube channel is not as hard as we make it out to be. I got started here on YouTube in 2020, and it's been years in the making because even before 2020, I always thought to myself, I would love to create content. I'd love to have a YouTube channel, build community there, but I kept putting it off because I kept thinking to myself, well, I don't have the equipment. I don't have the camera. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know if I'm ready. Literally 2020, right at the start of COVID, the beginning of the year, I said, this is the year. I don't care that I don't have the right equipment. I don't care if I don't know exactly what it is that I'm doing. I will learn as I go, and that's exactly what I did. My very first YouTube video was filmed on my iPhone 8. The majority of my YouTube videos were filmed on that iPhone 8 for a really long time. I didn't have a fancy camera. I didn't have a fancy lighting setup, any of that. I just started. My very first video was a try-on haul. And I was getting ready for an international trip at that point. And so I had already planned for myself. This is another pro tip. I had already planned what my first couple of videos were going to be about. I wanted to make the process as smooth and as simple as it could be for me. So I knew I was going on this trip. I knew I had just bought a bunch of clothes for this trip. And I thought to myself, okay, well, my very first video, I'm going to record a haul, a try on haul of all the things that I bought for this trip. And that's exactly what I did on my iPhone 8 standing in front of my bedroom door in my apartment. I just pulled over my lamp in front of my door, turned on my camera. I don't even think I had a tripod at that point. I'm pretty sure I just set up my phone on some books to be able to record that footage. And that was it. I stopped making excuses. I stopped caring so much about what people would say, what people would think, because there's all these YouTubers on here who've been creating for so long. And here is little old Tasha just with her phone in a dream, and that's okay. I sat down and I just recorded the content and posted it. Now, I posted it not thinking I was going to get a bunch of views, and I'm pretty sure that video got maybe like 450 views total, but mind you, I shared that with friends, family. I hyped it up that I was finally creating this YouTube channel because I was excited and I wanted other people to be excited for me too. So you just have to do it. You just have to start. It doesn't matter if you don't have the right camera. There's no such thing, really. There's really no such thing. And honestly, I have really wish I had gotten started sooner. Yeah, you don't need an aesthetic background. You don't need any of these things that you think you need. You just need the desire to start and something to record on. I don't care if it's a flip phone, if you have a camera, if you're starting on your webcam, just start. You just need to start because as you start, as you go, you're going to get better with time. You're going to practice more, get more comfortable in front of the camera. All of that stuff is going to come with time, but it won't come if you don't start. The second thing I wish I knew is that it's going to be uncomfortable at first, but with practice, it's going to get better. It goes hand in hand with just getting started. Like, you can't get better at something if you don't start doing something. Y'all, getting started on my YouTube journey, I remember filming that first video, that Shein try on haul, and watching back the footage as I was getting ready to edit and just hating the sound of my voice, hating the lighting, hating where I was standing, all of these things. But I thought to myself, Tasha, you said you were just going to start. So don't let perfection get in the way of progress. And that was my motto in the back of my head all throughout this YouTube creator journey that I've been on these past 4 years. I just did it. And with practice, it got better. With practice, I realized, okay, I don't need so much light in front of me. With practice, I realized, okay, maybe I should, like, if I'm talking, maybe I should script, like, do a couple of bullet points because that will help me, organize my thoughts, organize the conversation. I learned all of that with time and practice. I got more comfortable speaking in front of a camera, speaking to a camera with time and practice. Like, that's all it takes. It's going to be uncomfortable at first. You're going to think to yourself, well, what if no one watches my videos? And that's a real genuine thought, because I thought that too. But going into it, you should know that your first couple of videos, you're probably not going to get that many views. And that's okay, because what you don't want is your very first video to go viral. Why? Because you haven't had the time to practice. You haven't had the time to learn what works, to figure out your editing style, your filming style, all of these things that come into play when you're creating content here on YouTube. I would have been appalled if that first Shein haul went viral. Because looking back at it now, I mean, one, I look so young. I was a child, but also like the the quality that I would have wanted wasn't going to be there. One. Two, let's say I got viral and I got all these subscribers off of that video. Now they're going to be expecting more hauls. That was never for me going to be like the bread and butter of my channel. And I feel like that would have just been so much more added pressure versus just organically growing my community here on YouTube so that people know what I'm about. People know what to expect when they're watching my content. In the process of me creating this first YouTube video, I had already planned what my next videos were going to be. I wanted to make the process as easy and as seamless as possible for me so that I would be able to stay consistent. Like, this is something brand new. I know that I might have been discouraged easily, so I wanted to make the process as easy as possible for myself. So after that first Shein haul, I knew I was going on this trip. So I was going to vlog that trip. And that was my very first ever vlog, my very first ever travel vlog. I was traveling to London, and another video that I'm glad didn't do so well. Because it was my very first video. When I look back at the growth from where I was at that first video to now, it's insane. The quality has gotten better. I've gotten much more comfortable in front of the camera. I've honed in on what I like to do in terms of like editing. I've gone from editing solely on iMovie to Adobe Premiere to CapCut, DaVinci Resolve. I've been there, I've done that, and I've tried all these things, and now I know what works for me. And that, ladies and gentlemen, took time, that took practice, and that took patience in terms of getting comfortable in front of the camera and getting comfortable with like the whole process. And I think another part of it being uncomfortable at first, for me at least, was being concerned about what people would think.
Like, who is this girl? She thinks she's an influencer now. She thinks she's a creator now. Why is she creating YouTube videos? Why is she recording her life?
Like, all these questions running in my head. And at the end of the day, no one cares. It sounds harsh, but it's the God's honest truth. No one cares. No one cared that I picked up my camera and decided to start a YouTube channel and start vlogging and start sharing my life. No one cares. People are so busy with what's going on in their own personal lives. They do not have time to really care and judge what you're putting out there. Posting and sharing my content wasn't meant to be for my friends and my family. It was meant to build community, reach out to other people in the same sphere of life as me who could relate to my content so I could start growing a community here on YouTube. And that was the purpose, that was the point. At the end of the day, your friends and family aren't going to care. Your audience isn't going to care. Because listen up, this is the next point. Your biggest supporters may not be your friends and family. The sooner you get okay with that, the sooner you're going to see growth here on YouTube. At the very beginning stages of my YouTube career, I would constantly share all of my content to my Instagram, TikTok, all my other platforms. And that's okay to a certain extent, right? You're just getting started. You want to drum up some audience. You want to drum up some excitement about what you're posting and what you're doing. But at a certain point, you want to move into the realm of influencing those who aren't in your immediate circle already. You want to speak to the girl who's in the same season as you, and you want to entice other people outside of your original sphere of influence to come join you on YouTube. And that's how you build community. That's how you build long-lasting engagement and growth here on this platform. With your friends and family, you have a rapport, a connection. You've built this relationship over X amount of years, right? And so they see you in a certain light, and that's okay. Sometimes it's a little hard to push past that light when you are catering to an audience that already knows you versus catering to an audience who has no idea who you are but are interested in learning more. That's what I had to get comfortable with getting started here on YouTube. Like, My friends and family are not going to watch every video, like every video, comment, all this. They already know me. So there's less of a buy-in. Oftentimes it's harder to create content knowing your audience is your friends and family. Why? Because once again, it's you thinking, oh, they're going to judge me. What are their thoughts on this? They're already so close. They're people that you hold near and dear to your heart. And so their opinions mean a lot to you. And so getting started on YouTube and just speaking to the camera, but also knowing, okay, well, my audience is my mom, my dad, my sister, my best friend, my college sweetheart. It's not going to help you in the long run. Moving past that idea of, oh, I want my biggest supporters to be my friends and my family is so important, because at the end of the day, YouTube is a platform where you can really grow a strong community from all different walks of life, all different parts of the world. And that's what you want. You want to build a diverse community of people who are interested in your content, interested in learning more about you, invested and hearing what you have to say. And sometimes that's not going to be your friends and family. Sometimes that's going to be some granny in the Ukraine who happens to come across your video and just loves your aura, your persona, your personality shining through the camera. And that's how you grow a strong community here on YouTube. You have people who follow you from the early days of your channel to people who are just now joining, and you want that. You want to be able to build community throughout your YouTube journey. And so that's something I really did wish I knew, because at the very beginning I was sharing my YouTube video to anyone and everyone who would listen, right? And just getting started on YouTube, that's okay, because you're trying to drum up excitement for your channel, trying to let people know that you're out here and this is what you're doing. But at a certain point, it's okay. You don't need to tell every single friend and family that you're posting that you have a channel, because those who are going to support you are going to support you whether or not you remind them. And then the people that you want to come to your channel are going to find your channel. Your audience is going to find you. So don't force it. That's not even on my list of like tidbits, but don't force it. Your audience is going to find you. Once again, that goes back to building a community. Building a community is like the biggest thing on any social media platform, but really, really big here on YouTube, because it's that community that's going to keep coming to watch your videos time and time again. It's that community that's going to comment on each of your videos. It's that community that's going to like your videos and interact and engage with your content. Now, we all know Instagram is an aesthetic place, right? People have long gone is the days where people are truly authentically engaging with your content, liking the post, commenting on the post. People will see and scroll and just go on by. That is not what YouTube is all about. YouTube is all about bringing together people around your content, creating a community. It's much easier for you to do that when you're not worried about what your friends and family think. That's the type of community you want to build. People who are happy for you, people who want to see you win, people who enjoy watching the content you create. And know that it's not for everybody, and that's okay. Your content is not going to reach every single person, but it's going to reach the audience that is for you. Now, here's the last thing, and stick with me here. YouTube is not free. YouTube is not free. Now, it might be free to just download the app and start scrolling, but at the end of the day, people are paying you to watch your content. Not with any money, not with any physical monetary thing, but with their time, which is honestly much more precious, much more expensive, much more valuable than money. People are paying you with their time to watch your content. Now, if you post something and you get no views, you might think to yourself,
Oh, the algorithm hates me. The algorithm is just not working in my favor.
no. What it means is your content is not worth watching. And I know that sounds harsh. But it's the God's honest truth. Your content is not worth watching. That's what people are paying here on YouTube with their time and with their attention. Two very valuable things here on YouTube. You want to create content that people find value in. And I think for me, getting started here on YouTube, that was really a concept that I didn't yet grasp, because I got started and a lot of my channel here is vlogs, right? Vlogs are honestly a really hard niche or topic or area here on YouTube to grow in, because there's not a lot of value in them. There can be. If you do vlogs correctly, you can provide a lot of value in the types of vlogs you produce. And that's something that I've started to incorporate in my content now. But first, getting started, I was just creating content because I was out with my friends and we were having a great time, and I want to share that with the world. No one cared. No one cared that I was in DC with my girls after not seeing them for some time. No one cared. Now, someone might have cared if they'd never been to DC and wanted to know what there was to do in DC. Now, that's value. That's providing valuable content to someone, right? That's providing valuable content to someone who's going to watch your entire blog because now they're planning their own trip to DC and they want to know, okay, where should I go? What should I do? What should I wear? What's the weather like around this time? That's providing valuable content. And so, if you're a blog channel like I am, that's definitely something you want to keep in mind, right? You want to provide value to people. You want to provide content that's going to keep someone's attention. You want to give people a reason to watch and keep watching. This is the ideal subscriber, right? Someone stumbles across your page, watches a video, loves the content, loves the video, it keeps their attention, it's engaging, they learn something new. Then they love that video so much, they go and watch another video and another video and another video, and they start to like the content, leave comments, share your content out. You want to speak to a subscriber so well that it's like, I just love this creator. This is my creator. You want stands, you want fans, you want community, and providing value in your content is exactly how you're going to do that. Now, I'm not saying I'm an expert here. I'm not saying that I'm a pro. This is something that now is my focus. In 2025, YouTube is pushing out creators, small creators, like crazy, like never before. And so you want to place yourself in the position where you're providing value early on. If I had known that just getting started out in my YouTube journey, I feel like I'd be a lot further than where I am now. But now that I do know that, now that I have that knowledge, I can start incorporating that further into my content so that I'm no longer just providing weekly vlogs that no one really cares about. I'm weaving in knowledge and information that someone is going to find valuable. And like I said, your content is not going to be for everybody. It does not need to speak to everybody, but it's going to find the audience that is for you. Your content should speak to the people, or speak to the person you want to be. Speak to the subscriber, audience, persona that you want. And so you kind of have to reverse engineer your content a little bit. You have to kind of think, okay, what is it that I want my audience to feel? Who do I want this video to impact? Who is it that I foresee watching this video and subscribing from this content? The last thing I'll share that I wish I knew as a YouTuber first starting out here on this platform is that the learning never stops. You are going to continue to learn and grow and develop on this journey. The editing styles will change, the platforms that you use to edit will change, the trends here on YouTube, what works and doesn't work is going to change. So you are constantly going to be learning, not just about what works here on this platform, but constantly learning more about yourself and what type of creator you want to be. It's okay to change, it's okay to shift. There was a period of time when some of my videos related to my public health background, and I was sharing valuable information about my journey in public health. I no longer share that type of content, and that's okay. I learned that that's not something I'm really passionate about sharing. Now, that's something I'm knowledgeable on, sure, but just because you're knowledgeable about something doesn't necessarily mean you're the person to share that knowledge. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to like sharing that knowledge. And so that's something that I've constantly been learning on this process and in this journey. You're never going to stop learning. You're never going to stop seeking new information. And that's the beauty of this creator journey. It is a journey. It's a continuous thing. It's not a one-stop shop. It's not like you've reached somewhere and now you're at this place. You are always going to be learning. You're always going to be growing and evolving. And I think that's a really beautiful thing to understand here on YouTube, because you see that often. You see people go from one niche to another because they've evolved. They've learned more. They've gotten more comfortable with their platform and what they want to share and what they want their platform to be. And so they move on to the next thing. And I'm not saying that to say like you need to constantly be shifting who you are and what you like to do and this, that, and the third. But as with the human experience, you're constantly shifting and changing. And so it'll only make sense that you're your content will also shift and change with you. So those are some of the things that I wish I knew when I first got started with YouTube back in 2020, and now it's 2025, and I just know that so much growth is going to happen for you as a small creator who's just beginning, or a creator who has been here for a while but hasn't really seen much growth. I just know that 2025 is going to be a great year for small YouTubers. I know that 2025 is going to be the perfect year for you to finally start that YouTube channel, stop caring what other people think, get used to being uncomfortable, and all of the other things that I mentioned in this video. It's going to be a phenomenal time. So I wish you all the best of luck. 2025 is definitely our year to make something shake and make something happen. So I'm really excited that you came across this video. And if you found value, feel free to go ahead and subscribe, like this video, and comment something new that you learned. And I can't wait to see y'all in my next one. So take care.